What's going on, RestoMods? It's Mike here. Today we have Shaun. Shaun, thank you for coming in today. He has something very special for us. What are we looking at today?
It's a 1937 Studebaker Coupe Express.
So Shaun, there is a ton going on this beautiful car. Thank you again for bringing it in today. You were telling me you won some shows with this thing. What have you taken it to recently?
I got the first award I got was the Builder's Choice Award at the Goodguys show in Del Mar in April 2019.
Wow.
And the second award I got was first place at the Jolla Concours, which is a pretty
wow, that's huge.
In the Restomod category. It was like a restored, modified category.
Cool.
And it was a pretty big award. And then finalist for Truck of the Year by Goodguys, 2020
Wow.
Truck of the Year.
That is massive,
Yeah.
and I understand why after seeing this thing. You rolled up in here, and one of the first things we notice is just the paint on this thing is incredible.
Yeah.
How did you come to choose this color for this car?
This is actually a color off of a Lexus. It's a 2007 Lexus color. It's a really unique color. The second I saw it, I knew I wanted it. Added some little custom touches to it here and there. As far as the mix, it was painted by Loose Cannon Customs in El Cajon.
How long have you had this car? When did you start working on it?
I started in 2012. I didn't completely, put my wheels on it initially. When I was ready to start going with it, it was a lot of planning and figuring out what you're gonna do before you actually start modifying things. I had to find the car to get the donor motor for it first, which was pretty difficult to find. It's a rare motor. But total about 5 years.
5 years into this
5
thing.
years, yeah, was the total build
That's
time.
crazy. So I feel like the only way to do this car justice is to start from the beginning and work all the way back.
Yeah, sure.
So let's just move our way up here.
Yeah.
And you said there was something, are these the lights on this one original, the front end of
Yeah,
this?
so, I mean, what you're looking at in the front is pretty stock. The headlights are the original buckets, and that's original 37 glass.
Okay.
Some of the parts in this I was lucky to find NOS, they call it new old stock.
Okay.
So it's new, but it's old stuff. It's not reproduced, if you will. This hood emblem was another one that was really hard to find, and once pot metal starts getting pitted, you can't really fix it.
Yeah.
So a lot of small things, you'll see little imperfections, but I couldn't have got another one.
But it's an original. That's
an original, yeah. It's not something they reproduced.
That's very cool.
So headlights, original. The way the front bumper sits and mounts, that's original.
Okay.
This grille was the single most difficult part of the restoration.
I was gonna say, that thing is insane. And
every single piece of stainless is pressed into this metal. So not only do you have to take every slat apart, but all pieces of stainless has to come apart too to be able to polish it.
Stainless is just on the front of that piece?
Yeah, and there's no way to paint it without getting overspray on it. There's no way to polish it without damaging the paint. So,
and the coolest thing that I've never seen this car or this grille ever before. The fact that it kind of slides all the way down and it's still open back here to where it's still getting air into the car, which
it's a pretty unique grille for its time. It's very, very like aerodynamic looking, so it kind of streams. And if you look at any other car of this era, a lot of them, the grills were slanted vertically. If you see them, so the car doesn't really look like it's in motion.
It's a little different, all right.
Yeah, so this has a little bit of movement to it. So
one thing I'm gonna tell everybody out here, you got to check out all of the emblems on this car. Just my first glance around, every single emblem on this thing is incredible, clean, and look, insane on the car. So we'll make sure to show all of those.
I will. Originally, this only had an emblem right here on the front.
Okay.
There was literally no other emblem on the car that said Studebaker. So I added little touches here and there. And I'll take you around and show you. So
cool.
Moving on from the front, if we move to this side,
definitely.
I really like the side mount tire. That's what made the car to me.
I agree.
And when I first saw it, I'm like, that side mount is just so classy. And some people try to convince me to take it out. It was one of the most defining features on the car. So I really wanted to make sure I kept that.
To me, it's super unique because there's not many other cars that try to implement the spare tire into the design of the car, and like you said, it was
made for utility. This was made to be used on a farm. So you never knew when you had to change your spare tire. So that was the reason that was there.
And the fact that it's matching, of course, it looks incredible. And if you did have to swap it out, you wouldn't even notice that it was a different tire.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we got to check underneath this hood. What are we working with here? Well, that's definitely.
So this is how the hood opens actually with the hood emblem right here.
Wow. And what are we looking at here?
So the motor is a Supercharged 289 from a 1964 Studebaker GT Hawk. I wanted to keep it an original Studebaker powered motor, and I assumed this would fit because it's not that big of a Y block. and it ended up fitting perfectly. It was a trade-off to see how many accessories we can get in there versus a supercharger or power steering or air conditioning. And I had to compromise. A supercharger was all I could really fit.
And you went with the supercharger.
I went with a supercharger.
Yeah, we were saying that's a great choice.
Power steering on narrow tires like this, it's not that difficult
Good
to
to
steer.
go, man. And you were saying you gave up the AC as well.
No AC either.
Supercharger.
If you do see up here in the hood, in the cowl, there's a little vent right
Okay.
up here. That vent is actually kind of like a primitive AC system.
Okay.
So it opens and closes from here. So that'll actually let air pass into the cabin.
Nice. All right.
These are bias ply tires, so they catch every kind of nook and cranny in the road. So you'll be driving, all of a sudden you'll feel yourself start veering a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the way these tires are is just. But that's another trade-off, just like the not having power steering or something like that.
Cool.
And having such narrow tires makes it easier to steer as well, so it's not that big of a deal.
It looks exactly how it should, for sure.
Small emblems like this is actually a lapel pin. So I went to a swap meet and they had all these little Studebaker lapel pins, and the badge you see there on the carburetor is a similar thing.
Okay.
I think these were worn by people like in an old version of the driving club, because
so cool.
Studebaker's had a driving club since the 60s.
Okay.
And the members were like pretty die hard about Studebaker.
And we're talking
stuff.
like lapel, fancy, lapel pin.
Yeah,
This goes on a nice
suit.
like club jacket.
Exactly.
So that's some high class stuff.
Yeah. If you want to come around here, I'll show you
let's
some
check
more
the
details
tailgate in the back. I mean, obviously the bed on this thing is beautiful. We were saying like it's like nicer than any dinner table I've ever sat at, or like I don't know if I've ever seen wood this clean. So
yeah, so this is this wood is walnut. It's domestic walnut that actually I purchased a couple blocks down the street from here at this place called TH&H. They're one of my oldest clients, and they sell wood. And I've never really, done anything like this with a wood bed. They obviously don't make a kit for this like they would make for like a C10 or something. So it had to be custom made. I got these planks of walnut, had them planed, and then just sanded them really smooth. Once I got the grooves for the runners cut out of it, I made templates around where the wheel wells are, so it would fit into there. Then the wood, I added epoxy resin on top of it, which is really high gloss finish. They use it on bar tops.
It looks wet, man.
Yeah, the epoxy resin filled in a lot of the imperfections in the wood and all the pores. And then after that, loose cannon, Nick sprayed. Actually, it was the day before the Goodguys show, the first one I took it to, where I got Builder's Choice. At 2 o'clock in the morning, we were spraying clear. And he sprayed like 7 coats of clear on the top of this.
That is sick. You were saying custom tailgate?
Yeah, the tailgate's custom. It's kind of cool how this is just a utility latch right here.
Okay.
It's a really simple utility latch that's off of these these you'll see like on a work truck or something. So that extends these 2 little things right here that'll pin out into here. This is if I ever need to access it to fix the linkage or something like that. And it's
completely custom? This isn't the same tailgate that would have came on the thing?
Completely custom, okay. Yeah. These are, I think, C10 hinges that Nick found.
Got it.
So they're hidden hinges. But yeah, the tailgate's completely custom.
It fits great and looks really good. So there's just so many curves on this thing. The whole car just has so many, so much going on.
It's a very
love it.
Bubbly looking
and even into like the fenders here, like the body kind of like gives you a fender, and then it kind of attaches to the actual fender. Like it's just kind of unique. Let's check out the inside of this thing because it is, I was saying it feels like a yacht inside here. You got a lot of wood.
Let me turn on the light.
Lots of leather.
Yeah, the interior, it was funny because you think that the body and paint is something pretty complicated because you can choose so many different options for paint. You can choose a flat color, you can choose a metallic or non-metallic, a candy. You can two-tone a paint job, you can add a pinstripe, you can make the wheels a different color. So I made it all uniform. When it got to the interior, that's when the options multiply times 10. Because you have so many different areas in an interior that can be different.
Any little piece can be a different accent color.
The color of your stitch. The color of your stitch can be different. The piping around the seat, the type of material. Is it going to be a smooth leather? Is it going to be, a rough leather? What kind of headliner you're going to use? What kind of carpet? Is it going to be a loop, a pile?
For sure.
There's so many different options. And
you started from ground zero.
With the interior was completely ground zero. So the most custom thing about the interior is the gauge cluster. That's a 1937 Packard gauge cluster. Studebaker bought Packard.
Okay.
So it's kind of Studebaker ish. It's pretty comfortable inside. It's pretty spacious.
It's very spacious.
Yeah, it's pretty spacious for the size of it. And that a lot of that had to do with the way the upholstery was done by Rex Copeland. And he did a really good job padding the seats properly and getting the seat in the perfect position.
Are these gauges original?
Those are original to a Packard.
Okay,
so
but they are original. That's actually they're like restored.
They're original. Yeah, they're not like aftermarket
really
gauges.
good
No,
and
those are
clear.
original restored gauges.
I'm so terrified to like scratch something.
You're all right.
Dude, it's so nice though. It's so nice.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got to tell me about this license plate. You said it was one of your favorite parts of the car.
Yeah, it is. So in a 37 plate, the diameter is different than license plates now. So if you notice, it's a little bit wider. This is actually my father's dealer plate number from 1977 that I had custom made into a license plate. One of my favorite accents of this is that little topper on the top right. So dealer plates have a permanent registration number, and I stamped it into that, but the little thing holding it was a name tag from the Studebaker factory in 1937 in the upholstery department.
All right, so we've seen the details. Now we need to hear this thing roar.
All right,
let's start it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shaun, thank you so much for bringing this beautiful, one-of-a-kind piece of art into the garage today. It was great looking through this thing with you, and best of luck with anything that you continue to do with this. Guys, if you're ready to win a car, not this one, but the car of your dreams from RestoMods, head over to restomods.com. Sign up for the RestoMods Car Club today for $8.95. You're gonna get 10 entries every month to win the car of your dreams, or 50 grand, or head to our shop at restomods.com/shop. And any t-shirt, hat, automotive parts purchase that you make, every $1 you spend is going to get you 1 entry to win. Thank you again.
Yeah,
and
you got it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wait, before you go, if you liked this video and you want to see more just like it, hit that subscribe button below and that bell, and you'll be notified anytime we drop another video.